Well, businesswoman and wife of Springbok rugby captain Rachel Kolisi is fierce and she's a fab mom. Her family is her pride and joy and she'll do what she can to protect that. Her recent post on social media had many South Africans talking as she asked Mzansi to hashtag Save Siya's story by boycotting Siya Kolisi against all odds, an unauthorized biography about the rugby player. While we would all like to tell our personal stories our own way, when you are a public figure like Siya Kolisi, though, it can be difficult to protect that story. So does Rachel Kolisi have a leg to stand on? To chat more about this, we chat to Nicole Smallberger, Senior Associate and Trademark Attorney at Adams & Adams. Nicole, thank you so much for joining me on this one. I mean, it's a tricky situation. Siya Kolisi is a public figure, but what rights does the author have? It is an unauthorized biography.
Hi, Ayanda, and thank you for having me. It's certainly an interesting one, and it has generated a great amount of buzz on social media. I think looking at the forums and the questions that people are asking, the big one is, wait a minute, can you do this? Can you publish someone else's story without their consent? And the short answer to the question is yes. The right to freedom of expression is recognized and protected. And a writer can exercise that right to freedom of expression by gathering publicly available information about someone and expressing it in a written form, like a book. So the author was within his rights to produce this unauthorized biography. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I will issue a cautionary note to writers and say it might not be without legal risk in all situations. So there are going to be some potential risks that you face when you publish an unauthorized biography. Maybe we can talk through a few of them and sort of discuss whether or not they apply to Siya Kolisi's case and there's a leg to stand on or not.
Well, Nicole, I'm not going to have time for the other biographies. I do have a minute left with you quickly. But what I would like to touch on in the minute that I have, what could Rachel Kolisi do?
Well, I think the biggest possible ground that may have been or could be relevant is, in this case, is the right to publicity. So publicity rights are personality property rights, and we all have a right to our identity. If you're a celebrity, that right can make bank. It's an advertising identity that you have. People identify you, they want to buy things that you endorse, and so on and so on. So the question will really turn on whether the average reasonable consumer who walks into a bookstore and sees this book is going to be confused into thinking that Siya has actually authorized or endorsed it or contributed in some way.
That's right.
I think with the updated edition that's recently come out, it states on the cover of the book that it is an unauthorized biography. The initial version did not I don't believe, say that. Yeah.
Okay. Nicole, it's a pity. That's all I have that's all the time I have for today. But thank you so much for clarifying that. And unfortunately, Siya Kolisi is a public figure. We own him, as we would say as South Africans. So all the best to Rachel Kolisi there. Well, here at ETV News and Sport, we welcome and encourage your views on any of the stories that we report on. So let's take a listen.